I've got something to build, and you're gonna watch it, or else. How's that?
Yeah, or else.
Lovely gentleman came to us, I saw our lockers we made for the office. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it somewhere up here. But he said, I need basically a stand for his computer tower, and he wants it built in a similar way. So Spike here has designed some lovely components that I plan to build here soon. Wow.
So computer stand is gonna be made out of completely 1x1 angle. The way I'm thinking about it, all right, so here's what you're looking at. This is the side. These lines are just pallet wood. He's gonna do the wood himself. There's a door in the front. This is an open space all the way through.
Chasm.
Yep, that's a technical term. And then at the top here will be expanded metal because the computer's gonna sit right on there, so it won't airflow.
Okay.
Yeah. So there will be wood on both sides, on the back, on the bottom, and on the door.
Okay. It's pretty easy. Just make a few angle iron rectangles and then join them together.
So that's what I have drawn up, is that you're gonna do the 2 outside rectangles.
Yep.
Those 2 big ones, and then you'll join them across. Now the only thing that's different here is the red are going all the way across from rectangle to rectangle. So this will hold that bottom board, and then this will hold the top shelf, the chasm. There'll be a board going across there. And then there'll be one angle here to hold that backboard.
I see. And the white represents the door. I see.
So,
we should use layers and stuff.
hell yeah.
Layers and line weights.
If I'm printing it out. If I'm printing it out, I would do line weights. And then afterwards, we just need to drill holes so that way you can mount the wood on the inside. And I'm thinking this wood's going all the way top to bottom. That's why those connectors, yeah, there needs to be room on the inside of the 1x1 for the wood to kind of sneak in that corner.
Do you want me to just build the door to fit once I build the rest of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. With like an 1/8 inch margin or something.
I think that's what I put in here.
We got the metal weld on hingies.
Yep.
Some no-hole hinges, schweld them on. And then we got some leveling feet from McMaster Car, because where else? Sponsor me, nutsandbolts.com.
I got attacked by a bear in a bar who was talking trash about my wife.
Yeah.
You should see the bear now.
Okay, so some miter cuts, some angle iron frames, some TIG welding. Maybe we'll use one of the new welders we got. Some expanded metal cutting, some drilling, and then painting or powder coating, right? For painting black. All right, let's cue the montage. I will be using our new HTP MIG welder during this project.
Thanks, HTP! Thanks, HTP!
Where's my hat?
Thanks, HTP! Thanks, HTP!
All right, okay, that's enough.
First turn on of the HTP Pro Pulse 220. First weld here.
Yeah, that's kind of for the last season.
Sounds pretty good. It's like zero spatter. You know what's so nice about this already? You can dial it in by amperage. There's pre-flow, there's post-flow.
With having a ground wound around that hook and moving the cart, like it rolls the amperage on there, like the other day when you're
Well, voltage or wire speed, but yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, just being able to dial it in completely runs out.
It's funny you had that issue. I've never once in 15 years had that issue. Congratulations. But wow, no spatter at all. That's pretty wild. All right, well, first impressions of the Pro Pulse 220. I did 3 inches of weld and it feels really good. Just like zero spatter, very consistent, easy to change the power. Love the screen. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the synergic, meaning that all the settings change with each other. I'm really just looking at amperage. It has an amperage rating up in the top left, which coming from TIG welding is nice. You know, I have a pretty good idea of what amperage I'd like to use. So I'm just looking at the amperage number, and as I change that, everything else changes for me. So that's super helpful. So great, this welder's up and running. That way Aaron can keep going on his project over there, and I can start building this computer case. So back to the job at hand. Got 2 pieces of 1-inch angle on the ground. Got the chop saw here ready to go. I've got my build plans from Spike right here. Gonna make some rectangular frames out of angle iron and use the Langmuir fixture tables here and these corner clamps, do all the work right here. So let's cut some parts, grind them down, fixture them up and weld them, then grind those. The 2 frames are identical, they're perfectly square, and they're bang on the measurement. So those are the side panels. I've got all the horizontal connecting pieces cut, and then these are for the door. There'll be a door on the front of it. So I'm gonna grind these tacks down and do a little welding on the outside, lock these things in. Loving the new welder. Frames are coming out good. Go eat some lunch. All right, so I realize I've been in time-lapse mode this whole time. I mean, on purpose, but I haven't been talking to you guys and letting you know what I'm doing. I've been kind of in the zone and enjoying this simple project, and really, I've had some satisfying moments. So here is where we're at. We got the cube itself, which came out really nice. There's actually 0 rock. So I got the bottom very flat, top is nice and flat. I MIG welded all the seams and then did a preliminary grind using several stages of abrasive wheels. So we really like these sort of sanding discs that screw onto the grinder. So you have this rubber backer, and then either the disc itself has an arbor that's threaded, or you have a hole in the middle and then this screw-on arbor here. But we go from 36, cuts down the metal. These are those 3M Cubitron things, which are freaking awesome. They actually sharpen themselves as they get worn down because of the shape of the crystals, apparently. But we start with the 36, and then we come back with the 80. And so that's where we're at now. The last thing I'll do is take an 80 grit on an orbital sander and kind of ease everything, smooth everything. But it's all coming together really nice. And then my post-lunch triumph has been this door here. So I am very pleased with how this has worked out. So for the door, other than so I MIG welded everything up until the door, MIG welded the door frame, and then switched over to, at this current moment, we haven't done our triple welder showdown video, but I decided to fire up the HTP Invertig 251. And boy, I am loving it out of the gate. I just figured since I was using the HTP MIG, go ahead and use the HTP TIG. And I TIG welded on this handle. So this was a McMaster-Carr part that we bought. We could have made it, but it saved a lot of time. TIG welded that on, and then TIG welded on these hinges, which are extremely smooth and operate very well. So to place the door, as you saw, no doubt, basically measured the opening. Spike had all this drawn out anyway. He had the size of the door, the size of the side frames, and the connectors sort of all spec'd out. But even still, I went ahead and made this part first. Established the opening, and then double checked the opening measurements with the door measurements. Saw that it was all going to be okay, and it left me with basically an 1/8 inch gap all the way around. So what I did was just stick an 1/8 inch piece of steel underneath, and I used a bunch of these magnets. By the way, I love these things. Check out our Amazon affiliate link down in the description. These things are awesome because you can turn them on and off. How they work, I have no idea, but they are awesome. But basically, sat a magnet across the corner here to catch the door. Did that on all 4 corners. Stuck the panel in from the backside, checked all my margins, shimmed as necessary, and then I flipped it on its back, as you saw, and welded on the hinges. And I just lined the barrel of the hinge up with that gap. There's some play in the hinges, so they don't have to be perfect. But man, this is very smooth. Quite pleased. This is gonna be a computer desk. So storage underneath, and then the tower goes up here, or a computer stand, really. One thing that we noticed was that, you know, there was no spec on the plans for a latch of any sort, so obviously the door closes too far. It kind of goes past. But so we're just gonna put a piece of metal, like if my finger was a piece of metal, we're just gonna weld a nice little piece of metal there. So it stops, and then we'll probably embed a tiny little magnet in here somewhere so that when you close it, it goes dink and holds it shut. And then went ahead and did 2 pieces of aluminum or angle on the back. So you've got a space right here for a shelf. You've got space down the side for the side panels. He's gonna use pallet wood, wood on the bottom, and then up here, which is what I'm gonna do next, goes expanded metal. So I'm gonna cut a sheet of expanded metal and put it up here because the computer needs some air intake from underneath. So you can see there, Spike kind of spec'd that out. So I'm gonna go over here, look at what expanded metal I've got, and then cut a piece, flip it upside down, and weld it in. But yeah, going very well so far. That's where we're at, and that's where we're headed. I've got several options. I've got some flattened sheets of expanded metal, and then I've got this big boy, the sort of 1.5 by 3/4. They measure expanded metal by the dimensions of the diagonal. So this is like 1.5 by 3/4. Both of these are flattened actually, so you can see it's flat as opposed to something like, well, that's flattened too. All this is flattened. Got a lot of different stuff in the rack, as you can see. I'm gonna pick which one of these I want to use. I might go with the thicker one just so it offers a little more resistance, but I like the smaller stuff visually, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna pull out a sheet, cut that to size, flip it over, tack it in, and then all that's left to do is the feet. So I'll drill some holes in the bottom corners down here. Boom, 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 boom. Put either a nutsert in there, probably just a nutsert, and then thread in the feet. And we're done. So this is gonna get a clear coat. So I'm just gonna kind of sand it all up, let the raw metal speak for itself, and then we'll clear coat it. But yeah, very pleased. Coming out very nice. I've been testing a bunch of welders, so I've just got cables laying everywhere. But super love the ProPulse 220, and so far, super love the Invertig 251. Not yet on the market, but coming very soon. I'm loving having all these crazy welders around me.
I was about to say, how do you like the, well, after
Yeah,
that.
wait for this to come down. Because I'm actually jumping, now that I have all these available, I find myself jumping between MIG and TIG. Like TIG is better for certain things, like
Yes, I noticed.
thin metal
Yeah.
on the hinges, where MIG is way better for when I was tacking the expanded metal in. You just need to go and shove some metal in there. So it's, I think having one of each machine on that same cart is going to be like my new go-to station.
Beautiful.
So if I put one like
Yeah.
there and there.
Yeah.
This is a rare occasion where I actually like magnets out here in the metal shop.
Yeah.
So thoughts on the HTP Pro Pulse? Is that the MIG solution you're using for this project?
This HTP MIG welder, the ProPulse 220, is rad. And the only reason I say it's rad after so little use is that like it feels like a MIG welder. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing immediately wrong with it.
That's nice.
And I'm able to work at the same pace and at the same quality that I was before, which is the baseline. So now I get to dive into all the pulse features and all the stuff that this machine has that my 20-year-old Miller doesn't. But like that, turn it on, set the settings and go, like experience has been great.
Which was not the case for some other welders.
No, I do wish the cord was a little longer. I haven't had an issue yet, but they're on that big table, for instance, sometimes you want to just throw the torch to the other side of the table and weld. So to do that, you're gonna have this thing like right up against the table. But that's okay, a small consolation.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, HTP.
It's really quiet too, which is great.
That is great.
The TIG is what's on right now, but both of the machines are very quiet. Instead of the Everlast that would sit there and.
Yeah. So you're running both HTP right now?
I'm all HTP today.
Hey.
Yeah, I was like, I tried the gray, the MIG, and I'll try the gray TIG. And I've used the Miller a lot, so at the moment we haven't done our 3-way drag race. So the Fronius is the only one that I haven't actually used on a project as of yet. This is great. I want one of these for myself.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Because I have a living room PC. It's a cube case, I'd make it slightly different, but that way I could put it next to my speakers instead of on my speaker and like lower it. This is literally a line of like industrial man furniture. You know, one issue I am seeing that he will face is, I don't know how, is this gonna be one solid panel on the side?
No, it's gonna be
Hollywood. Okay, great. Because the way this is, like, I don't know how you would get it in there if it was all one piece.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's all.
So he'll be able to like sneak it in here, and then the last one sneak it in this way.
Yeah, it'll all be boards. Cool. That door turned out real nice.
I'm extremely pleased. A lot of times when we do things that need to operate, it makes it very difficult. But it's a square inside of a square, which if I can't do that by now, I should quit. But the hinges you picked were really nice.
Thanks, McMaster. Car.
Smooth move. That's a smooth move.
Thanks, McMaster Car.
Corporate chilling, corporate chilling.
All right.
I'm a corporate chill, and I'll die on that hill. As long as they give me money, I'll be your corporate honey. I'll say which one, I'll do it too. Everything for $1 or $2.
All right, that's our new corporate chilling song.
Saw peaches and go out upstate. From the controversy, what a shame.
Okay, so we've recessed a few holes in here. Okay, the magnets are dirty. All right, time for a little super glue. Okay, magnets are in. I need something to, oh, it's already sticking. It's sticking to my fingers. Okay. Oh no, I was too impatient. Oh, I've glued my fingers together. Ah, oh, I'm an idiot.
You just do what
You need help?
No, good. Let's see if I can do this again. Okay, I'm not gonna touch them now. They're super glued in there. Good super glue. All right, we'll let that dry. Nice. I like that. Okie dokie. Just gotta drill some holes so he can attach some wood and then give it a sand and we're done. All right, well here we are. The computer stand is officially done. It's been clear coated. Got 2 heavy coats of clear on there. It's indoor use, so I think we're ready to rock. Got all of these holes drilled and countersunk, spaced so that he can use his boards. Holes here for a shelf. And yeah, expanded metal in the top, all 1-inch angle.
These are cool little feet looking things.
Yeah, those are called painter's triangles. Those will not be the actual feet. In fact, that's what I was about to do. So this is a fun one. I mean, you could sit here and stare at it and find flaws and whatever you'd like. The point is, we made some fun furniture for our office, and we just let the raw metal speak for itself, and we clear coated it. And that's what he saw for inspiration. So that's exactly how we built this. We just ground smooth all of our welds. I hit it with an orbital sander, smooth everything out, but it's raw, it's industrial. You can see the metal, and we're letting it speak for itself. So we've got 2 little magnets glued in there, holds the door closed.
That's a trick.
The hinges, yeah, I really
I like how
that.
the magnets sit flush too.
Yeah, I countersunk them in there.
Yeah.
Little metal tab.
Neat.
Industrial furniture. So here, let me take this off.
Here's Aaron making all the noise.